Hi, welcome to another episode of Just Saying With. Now, you might know her as Bella from Bella and the Bulldogs on Nickelodeon, but she's now joined the DC Universe or the Arrowverse as their latest superhero, Stargirl. Today, we're just saying with Brec Bassinger. Hi, Brec. Good evening. So, you've now joined DC's Arrowverse as Stargirl. With so many superhero movies and TV shows that have come up, do you think that the superhero genre is still relevant, or do you think it's becoming saturated now?
Absolutely. I feel like superheroes in general allow this escapism for people. It's like real people who can do powerful, crazy things. And so it allows people to escape like through the world and fantasy. So I think it's a good outlet for people in this day and age.
So now you're part of this big Arrowverse universe, if you will. How does it feel like to be a part of this bigger universe?
Yeah, well, it's so surreal. It's hard to wrap my head around almost. I remember when Stargirl first was being made, we weren't originally going to be in the Arrowverse and like associated with them. And when I found out we were, like I said, I use the word surreal, but it was so exciting. Fun little story. So I was on a Nickelodeon show before Stargirl, and Nickelodeon holds the Kids' Choice Awards each year. And I remember seeing Grant Gust, who plays the Flash, at the Kids' Choice Awards, and I hadn't ever watched Flash at that point, but I knew who he was, and everyone there knew who he was because they were all like crowding around him and fangirling. And so to get to be a part of like the universe that he's in, it's crazy. It blows my mind. I feel so lucky.
Now, how is Courtney different from other superheroes?
Yeah. Well, I think something that makes Courtney really special and unique is the fact that she's balancing being a superhero as well as balancing high school. A lot of the other big superheroes, they're already more in their adulthood, where Courtney is still very much figuring herself out, who she is, who she wants to be. So I think that aspect makes her really special and relatable.
So, what similarities do you find between Courtney and yourself?
Her naiveness, which is actually one of my favorite parts about Courtney, because she has this like childlike optimism, which is great, but it kind of gets her into trouble sometimes. And for me, like, I'm very much an overthinker. I am so indecisive, and not her. She's just like always a jumping the gun, going for things. So I'd say that's probably like the biggest difference between Courtney and I.
It's only normal for you to bring a personal take or a bit of your own personality into the character. How much of Brec bleeds into Courtney, and how much of Courtney then bleeds into Brec?
Oh, funny, interesting question. I would say Breck definitely bleeds into Courtney more than Courtney bleeds into Breck. I am very sarcastic, and throughout the show, like they started adding more like of that sarcastic humor, which I was like, okay, they're getting that from Breck. I know. Uh, and from Courtney, I try to take things away from her because she is such a like cool, optimistic character. So sometimes I'll be reading a script and I'll be like, wow, Courtney's such a great person. Breck, you need to take that away from her.
Right. So, what would you say was some of the challenges taking on the role of Stargirl?
First and foremost, the hours that I had to work. So, like one day in particular, I started working at 9 a.m. and I didn't wrap work till 5 a.m. the next day. So, it was literally a 20-hour work day. So, probably the hours was definitely one of the biggest difficulties. I don't. I mean, training wasn't really difficult, but it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot of different things. Oh, I know. The cosmic staff. I love that thing. It is so fun. It's a great scene partner. But I am very accident prone. So when you put a 6 foot tall pole in my hands and then ask me to combat fight with it, it all goes downhill from there. So having to learn how to use the staff properly and not hit people with it, but like fake hit people with it, that was another difficulty.
So you worked with, Geoff Johns. He's an icon. One of those people that's been there, done that, right? What is it like working with Geoff Johns?
Inspiring. Truly just like being around him on set, it inspires me to work harder, do more, be more creative. He has this ability to not be demanding but still be commanding, which I just think is beautiful, and he has this leadership. So I like understand why he is where he is, and I hope I can I feel like I've learned so much from him already, and I hope I can continue to do that so I can follow in his footsteps, because he is successful for a reason.
So now that you're part of all this fandom, the superhero universe, what do you find that's different about this kind of fandom?
They know their stuff, man. I'll be reading tweets because I love seeing people's reaction to the show. I'm really proud of it, and I like to know what people think. And they'll notice the smallest things, like the pink pin with Jakeem, and they'll be like, they just said Jakeem, they're pointing towards this, or they're doing this. And I'm like, how do y'all know all this stuff? There's so many comics and so many, there's literally infinite Earth, and they know all of them, and it blows me.
Great. All right. Last question. Now, when you look ahead, when you look into the future, who is Brec Bassinger, the artist?
Oh, goodness. So ever since I was little, I was the biggest dreamer. I still am. I'm also a very goal-oriented person. So I'll write something down and I'm set on doing it. So currently right now I'm actually working on my first feature, writing it. And so my plan is to write, direct, and star in a film one day. That's a goal of mine. But also, I really just want to be in all parts of the industry. I'm also a control freak. And as an actor, we have very little control of the behind-the-scenes stuff. So I'd love to put, my hand in more places so I can have more control.
Once again, thank you very much, Brec, for joining us. Here's to many more seasons of Stargirl.
Guys, have a great rest of your day because it's morning.